live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini News Studios. I'm Lanka.
A very good evening to you. I'm Charita Vinipurarachi and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
Two female students of the Kothalavala Defence University killed in the Dunhinda bus accident. Dr. Hans Vijay Surya appointed as the Chief Advisor on Digital Economy. Palali Achueli Main Road open for public after 30 years. A group of IMF representatives to arrive in the island for the third review of the extended fund facility. A haul of heroin worth over 2 billion rupees seized in Sevanagala area. 7 civilians in Israel killed by a Hezbollah rocket attack. For those other stories in detail. 2 female students died today morning when a bus carrying students of the South Campus of the John Kothalavala Defence University overturned.
Another 39 injured persons have been admitted to Badulla Teaching Hospital, and according to the hospital sources, the condition of 6 out of them is reported to be serious. The accident occurred on the Badulla Bahayangade main road at a point between the 3rd and the 4th mileposts around 7:45 in the morning today. The location not far away from Dunhinda at Ambagaha area is stepped and the bus has run off the road and collided on an earth mound. 41 passengers are reported to be travelling when the accident occurred. 2 members of the army, 5 advisors and trainees including others are said to be in the bus. According to our correspondent, they have stayed at the Management Institute of Palgahat and Postal yesterday were travelling for training when the accident occurred. Soon after the accident, the residents of the area along with police, army and the fire brigade of Badulla municipality and several other sections were able to retrieve the wounded from the bus after about 1 hour struggle. Later on, they were taken immediately to the Badulla Teaching Hospital for treatments. The died have been reported as 2 female students of Divitikala and Kurunagala areas aged 23 years. Badulla police is conducting further investigations. Dr. Palith Rajapaksha of the Emergency Unit of Badulla Teaching Hospital said that 6 patients have been admitted to the intensive care unit and 4 out of them are undergoing surgeries. He also said that the condition of 2 patients who are undergoing surgeries are recovering fast and the condition of the other patients are not critical.
President Andhra Kumar Disanayake has appointed Dr. Hans Vijay Surya as the Chief Advisor to the President on Digital Economy. President Disanayake has espoused and reiterated a bold vision and personal commitment to elevate Sri Lanka's digital economy to a level on par with the most advanced nations in the region, envisaging acceleration of economic growth, national competitiveness and delivery of tangible benefits to all citizens. The government is strongly committed to multi-sectoral digital transformation through the elevation of Sri Lanka's information and communication technology and digital infrastructure sectors to global standards and the establishment of digital public infrastructure to deliver inclusive citizen empowerment. The government plans accordingly to exploit technological advancements to enable the capture of leapfrog opportunities with respect to economic and social development, leading to a progressive digital economy and an enhanced quality of life for all citizens. Dr. Vijay Surya's appointment is a key move with regard to bringing a fruition the above vision. Dr. Vijay Surya, a renowned figure in the ICT landscape internationally, is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Telecommunications Business and Group Executive Director at Axiata Group BHD, a position he has announced he will step down following a transition period. During this period, Dr. Vijay Surya will lead the board of the ICTA in the capacity of non-executive chairman, enabling the activation of program planning and preparation activities related to the ambitious digital transformation aspirations of GOSL. He will subsequently take up several executive leadership roles within the institutional framework related to the digital economy, following relevant legislative enactments. These include Secretary of the newly constituted Ministry of Digital Economy under the direct purview of the President and Chair of the Digital Economy Authority, an apex body that will be mandated to oversee digital economy acceleration. Dr. Hans Vijay Surya is an expert who has taken degrees in the relevant fields from a number of foreign universities. He has won the highest award of his excellent contribution made to the Asian mobile industry in 2016. The leading business magazine in Sri Lanka, LMD magazine, named him as the Sri Lankan of the Year in 2008.
And meanwhile, the IMF Director for the Asia-Pacific Department, Krishna Srinivasan, says that new Sri Lankan government has reaffirmed its commitment to the International Monetary Fund supported program and in terms of achieving fiscal and debt targets. In order that following the new government's inauguration as IMF mission visited Sri Lanka and held productive discussions with the President and his team. These discussions underscored the significant progress Sri Lanka has made further in the program and the importance of safeguarding these gains while building on the success achieved so far. The new government is fully committed to the IMF-supported program, both in terms of the fiscal targets and debt targets. Krishna Srinivasan stated that he emphasized the good progress he has been made and ongoing discussions are set to continue. A Sri Lankan team recently visited Washington to further these discussions, and an IMF mission will soon return to Sri Lanka for the next review.
Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe says that Sri Lanka aims to conclude its debt restructuring process by year-end, with expectations for a prompt exit from the default rating category soon after. He also said that to complete the process, certain procedures must be followed, including documentation, due diligence and related formalities. Dr. Veerasinghe further said that it will take 2 to 3 weeks to complete the debt exchange and get the investor participation. That will take some time. The idea is to complete before end December. Backed by the International Monetary Fund and international advisors, Sri Lanka has secured a debt restructuring agreement with its official creditors and reached an in-principle deal with the private creditors. The arrangement with the bondholders, including Marco-linked bonds tied to the island's nation's economic growth trajectory. Sri Lanka is also expected to finalize a debt deal with the China Development Bank and pursue debt treatment deals with other remaining official and private creditors holding less than $1 billion worth of debt by the end of 2023. The central bank governor also expressed confidence that Sri Lanka's default rating would see an upgrade shortly after the debt restructuring process is finalized.
A discussion on digitalizing current social welfare benefit programs was held under the patronage of President Anura Kumar Dissanayake today at the Presidential Secretariat. The importance of digitalizing the stabilizing prices of rice, finding long-term solutions for rice shortage and information of the paddy shortage work and storage discussed at this meeting. They also focused attention to digitalization of the social welfare programs implemented for the low-income families. According to the President's Media Division, the relief programs which are to be implemented for the well-being of the children of low-income families during the new school term will also be digitalized.
The President's office said that reports regarding the reduction of security of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa are false. The office informs that he has been approved required benefits according to the Act of Rights of Former Presidents. Mahinda Rajapaksa is receiving the pension entitled for a former president. He is also entitled to the official residence at Vijay Secretary allowance. The former president has been provided with 3 vehicles along with fuel allowance of 1,950 litres of fuel per month. 3 drivers have been released. According to the President's office, apart from Army and Navy soldiers who are already in service, 180 police officers also have been deployed in service. There are 29 police drivers among them. A cabinet subcommittee has been appointed to evaluate the privileges of former presidents. The official release also says that required decisions would be taken in the future in accordance with the recommendations of the committee.
And meanwhile, police have taken a luxury motor vehicle into their custody from a private housing complex in the Teldenia Police Division. Officials of the Teldenia Police have praised this vehicle on an information received by them. It has been revealed that investigations that former State Minister Lohan Ratwatte has given this jeep to his secretary was killed recently. The jeep was parked in an abandoned house in Teldenia. Police are now conducting further investigations into the incident.
Palali Achuveli Main Road has been reopened today after 3 decades. This step has been taken in line with the advice of President Andrew Kumara Dissanayaka. This main road had been closed during 30 years of civil war, but although more than 15 years have been passed after the completion of the war, steps were not taken to open this road for the general public. People of the northern province always made requests regarding the opening of this road during a discussion held on the 22nd of last month between President Andrew Kumara Dissanayaka and the governors. Then the governor of the northern province, Nagalingam Vedanayagam, also made a request to the President in this regard. Accordingly, the President informed the security sectors to take steps, and the security condition was inspected with regard to the opening of the Palali Achuveli Road. Steps were taken to open the concerned road after the Ministry of Defence and the Defence Secretary intervened in this manner.
And meanwhile, postal voting in the general elections has been completed for the second day today. Government employees were seen voting today since the morning. A number of 737,902 voters have been qualified to vote in this year's postal voting. According to the Elections Commission, 759,083 applications were received, and out of them 21,181 had been rejected. An opportunity has been provided for postal voting at campus of the 3 armed forces and all other government institutions on the 4th of this month apart from today. Postal voting had been done on the 30th of last month at District Secretariat's offices, Election Commission offices and police stations including DIG offices. Apart from this, postal voting can be conducted on the 4th of November also. An opportunity has been provided on the 7th and 8th of November for those voters who could not vote during the relevant days. Election Commission informs that the office identity card cannot be used in voting.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that after the 14th of this month, the government expects to achieve the real duty of Parliament on behalf of the country. She expressed confidence that people will give a strong mandate to the National People's Power to achieve this effect. A public rally organized by the National Intellectuals Board in the Koti electorate was held yesterday. Participating in this event, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that the false propaganda carried out by some elements against the National People's Power prior to the presidential election has been proven baseless at present. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that during the past period in the Parliament, she had faced many sorrowful situations. She said that without a proper team with fellow feelings, it was very difficult to render a better service for the people. She said that therefore she was eagerly waiting for an era when a better parliament would be created. She added that the NPP is now striving to create a conducive parliament. She further said that in the recent past, some elements said that if the NPP came to power, they would cut beards of Muslims. She said that remove hijab from Muslim women, that there would be no almsgiving for Buddhist monks. The Prime Minister said that procession of the tooth relic would be stopped. She said that gas cylinders would burst and country would catch fire. She said now that all of these lies have been proven false. She said that now they have minted new lies saying the government has printed money. General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Tilvin Silva, addressing the public rally held in the Avisavela area, expressed his views. Chaturanga Besinga of the National People's Power said that they are attempting to implement this policy manifesto of the NPP. She said that people, or rather he said that people should not have any doubt or suspicion toward the NPP. He said that his party had been created with the hard labour of general public.
Leader of the Samaki Janabala Vege, Sajid Premadas, says that he will arrange a relief program for the people to reduce the tax, electricity tariff and the burden of high price of goods following talks with the IMF under an SLPP government. He made these remarks participating in a public meeting held in the central Colombo area. The meeting has been organized with the participation of people's representatives of the Samaki Janabala Vege and Samaki Janasantahane and its party supporters. Leader of the Samaki Janabala Vege, Sajid Premadas, said that the SLPP will definitely win the general election and form a majority government in parliament. He said that the SLPP will provide tax concessions and reduce high prices of essential commodities and electricity tariffs following a discussion with the IMF. He added that the SLPP has already agreed with the IMF to change the agreement to provide more concessions for the people. He further said that the future of SLPP government will cast out the anti-people government and sign a people-friendly agreement for the well-being of the people.
National organizer of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Nama Rajapaksa says that their party supporters have become disappointed since top leaders had left the party. He made these remarks participating a public meeting held in Athrugiriya area.
This meeting was organized to confirm the victory of the candidates contesting from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna for the Colombo district. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Namal Rajapaksa said that they have faced many challenges as a party. He said that in one hand, former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa had to pay the ISP loans taken by the good governance regime. He said that during that regime, not a single megawatt of power was added to the national grid. He said that former President Gotabaya had to face this challenge as well. He further said that after the Easter Sunday attack, Gotabaya Rajapaksa had the responsibility of strengthening the national security and the collapse tourism industry. He added that he had to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that in an unexpected manner, youth of the country took to the street. He said that, however, it is certain that many individuals who left the SLPP will join with us again in the near future. He said that when the top leaders leave the party, all the grassroots level leaders at provincial councils, local government bodies and members of women's organizations will become disappointed.
The 5th SLASCOM AI Asia Summit will take place in Colombo on the 5th of November. This year's summit on artificial intelligence will focus on the theme from vision to implementation. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is the media partner of the event.
AI is impacting every industry and sector, and this year the SLASCOM AI Asia Summit is truly special as we are focusing on how AI is transforming key industries like banking and finance, agriculture, manufacturing and hospitality in addition to tech. Over 25 industry chambers and partners have joined hands with us for this event, and we are bringing together world-renowned speakers who will share actionable insights and the latest advancements in AI. You will also have the chance to dive into practical applications of AI, explore solutions to real-world challenges, and connect with industry leaders and fellow AI enthusiasts. Join us on November 5th at the Cinnamon Grand Colombo as we shape Sri Lanka's future in AI together.
Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Chi Sheng Hong, says that Chinese government attaches great importance to all-round educational cooperation with Sri Lanka. He further said that Chinese government is committed to provide more training opportunities for Sri Lankans in various fields. 2024 China Aid Training Alumni Reception was held on Wednesday in Colombo under the patronage of Chinese Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Chi Sheng Hong. The ceremony highlighted cooperation between Sri Lanka and China in the fields of education and training.
I would like to extend my warm congratulations to all alumni for the learning and for giving full play to their strengths in their respective fields. As the Chinese say goes, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. China's foreign aid treaty is a concrete actions to implement global development initiatives raised by our President Xi Jinping, and are important measures to promote the building of the community with shared future for mankind. China's foreign aid treaty adheres to the concept of sharing, consultation, and co-construction, building a platform for countries to exchange experience in governance and fully shares the successful experience of Chinese modernization. The Chinese government will continue to deepen human resources cooperation with developing countries, to stay committed to encouraging the development and the revitalization of the global South, injecting robust impetus into the global progress. In the new year, I think Sri Lanka just wrap up the presidential election. Sri Lanka people have entered a new era. In the next year, the Chinese government will fully consider the development needs of the new Sri Lanka government, improve the pertinence and effectiveness of a training program, and welcome more participants to visit and study in China.
It's a well-known fact that Sri Lanka and China have a long-standing friendship that dates back centuries, cultivated through extensive trade along the maritime Silk Route and cultural exchange. Sri Lanka was the first country in South Asia to recognize the People's Republic of China diplomatically in January 1950. Over the years, Sri Lanka-China relations strengthened through numerous high-level visits between the two countries. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the government of China, particularly the officials of the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Sri Lanka, for their unwavering support in facilitating the successful participation of Sri Lankan public sector officials in various training programs in China over the past years. You may be aware that China is the government that offers maximum number of training opportunities to Sri Lanka. We have noted that since its initiation, China has provided more than 8,000 training opportunities in various fields such as health, education, industry, and construction of public sector officials in Sri Lanka. Of course, as we just heard from the Excellency, that it exceeds 8,000 and it's about 13,000 if I remember it correctly. So it is impressive that Sri Lanka is now receiving nearly 10,000 training programs each year from the Chinese government. Further, we cannot forget that China's support to Sri Lanka has been instrumental in the country's development as well, particularly in the realm of infrastructure and economic assistance. Over the years, China has invested billions of dollars in various projects, including ports. These investments aim to enhance Sri Lanka's logistical capabilities and boost its position as a regional trade hub. Furthermore, China has extended financial aid and loans to help Sri Lanka address its economic challenges, especially during the times of crisis. I don't have to remind you the serious crisis that we went through, particularly in 2022. Overall, China's ongoing support plays a vital role in Sri Lanka's aspirations for economic growth and modernization. Sri Lanka hopes that the debt treatment chapter will soon be closed and we can resume a robust financial relationship, including fresh financing for high-quality priority projects going forward.
And meanwhile, the representative of the United Nations Population Fund in Sri Lanka, Kinley Aniyandi, paid a courtesy call in the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. At the Prime Minister's office, Adeniari conveyed his appreciation for the increasing representation of women in Sri Lanka's political landscape, and he also reaffirmed UNFPA's commitment to supporting the countries in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. During the meeting, Dr. Amarasuri emphasized the critical role of gender equality, women's academic engagement, addressing gender-based violence and improving nutrition for women and girls in Sri Lanka. She further highlighted that while women participation in education is a satisfactory level, there remains a pressing need to enhance their involvement in decision-making roles. Secretary to the Prime Minister Pradeep Saputantri and several others were present at this meeting. Ambassador of Austria to Sri Lanka, Katharina Weiser, paid a courtesy call on the Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri at the Prime Minister's office in Colombo. The visit underscored the long-standing friendship and collaboration between Sri Lanka and Austria. Discussions focused on strengthening diplomatic, economic and cultural relations, with both the Prime Minister and Ambassador reaffirming their commitment to fostering. A meeting between Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri and representatives of the Public Services United Nurses Union was held yesterday at the Prime Minister's office. Public Service United Nurses Union explained about the matters of appointing a suitable person to the post of Deputy Director General, revising designations and grade anomalies of the nursing service, shortage of staff, creating a formal promotion scheme for nurses who have completed training, establishing Nurses University and extending the service period of nursing officers to the age of 63 years.
Minister Vijitha Herat says that steps would be taken to solve the problems of station masters after the general election. The minister, issuing a special statement, said that since there is an election period, problems have arisen in providing solutions for the same. Station masters were on token strike recently due to the problems pertaining to several administrative problems regarding their promotions and recruitments. The government had paid attention to it and several rounds of talks had been held. Minister Vijitha Herat said that this is not a recent problem and had been resurfaced and it will take some time to solve it. He added that since there is an election period now, the permanent solution would be provided soon after the election period.
The chairman of SATUSA, Dr. Samita Pereira, says that paddy purchasing process would be strengthened by providing relief to the farmer and consumers while strengthening the supply chain of SATUSA. He made these observations while inspecting a paddy storage complex abandoned in the Tissamaharama area. The chairman inspected the paddy storage and the paddy mill premises which had been abandoned in Pannegamu area in Tissamaharama. The complex is a usable condition, but the former government had decided to close this too in the month of September last year. A lot of paddy stores belonging to the Paddy Marketing Board in Polonnaru district has been abandoned. Among them are the stores belonging to the Paddy Marketing Board in Alahara, Guragoda, Medirigiriya, Lankapura, Tamankaduwa and Valikanda Divisional Secretariat divisions. Representatives of farm organizations in Polonnaru point out that these stores have been destroyed due to the lack of proper implementation of paddy purchasing during the last government.
Now, with the arrival of the winter season, the first flight carrying 238 tourists from Zurich, New Switzerland, arrived at the Kopenhagen International Airport today. This flight has been operated by the Airways of Switzerland. It has been a special feature that with the arrival of the winter season, majority of European tourists have selected Sri Lanka as their destination. Accordingly, they have arrived in the island as the first group of tourists. Edelweiss Airways has engaged in A330 Airbus for the maiden flight. A reception was organized today for the flight with a water salute. Direct flights between Zurich and Colombo would be operational on every Friday weekly. The plane will travel back to Zurich via Malé Airport from Maldives at 10:30 a.m. This flight will be operational on every Friday and Sunday weekly. Accordingly, the company, these direct flights will be operational until the month of next year.
A fire broke out at a vehicle service centre at Obesekatapura area in Rajugiriya this evening. The Fire Services Department said that the fire has now been completely doused. The Colombo Fire Services Department and the Kotte Municipal Council have deployed fire extinguisher vehicles to control the fire. It is reported that no damages to lives, although the fire spread to the nearby housing complex as well.
The Special Task Force of Police has been able to recover about 54 kilograms of heroin narcotics. The value of it is reported to be 2 billion rupees. This has been reported as the largest stock of heroin which has been taken into police custody in recent times. These narcotics have been recovered during a raid conducted by the Police Special Task Force in Savanagana, Kiriveva area. According to the task force, the stock of narcotics had been hidden in the premises of a house there. A couple resident of the house have also been taken into custody. They have been handed over to the Narcotics Bureau of Police for further investigations. It has been revealed during investigations that the female suspect who had been taken into police custody is from Piliandala.
And the Rakwana-Sorekan, the 10-Ben road, which had been blocked due to a collapsed earth mound, was now being cleared for vehicular traffic by the Road Development Authority. With incessant rains in Ratnapura district, vehicular traffic has been blocked due to the collapse of an earth mound at Rakwana-Sorekan, the 4-pen area of the 10-Ben road. According to the Road Development Authority, the road has been opened for vehicular traffic for small vehicles by now. There is a danger of collapse of earth mounds and rolling down of rocks during the night time in this area. Accordingly, drivers have been requested to use alternative routes instead of the 10-Ben road. Stay tuned with international news after this break. Welcome back with your international stories. And two separate Hezbollah rockets attacked have been killed and several people in northern Israel, authorities say, and in the deadliest of such airstrikes in months. An Israeli farmer and full-time agricultural workers were killed when rockets landed near Badulla, a town near border with Lebanon, Israel and Thai officials said. Later on, Israeli woman and had her adult son killed in an olive grove near Kibbutz Afek, an outskirts of the coastal city of Haifa. Hezbollah said that 5 baggages of rockets towards north of Haifa and the Israeli forces south of Lebanese town of Qam. The Israeli military identified 2 projectiles crossing from Lebanon and falling in the open area near Badulla.
Sri Lanka has been able to qualify for the quarter-finals of the Hong Kong Sixers cricket tournament by winning both the matches they participated in the preliminary round.
And the tournament is being held in Hong Kong. Sri Lanka participated in their first match against Oman. Batting first, Oman scored 80 runs for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of their 6 allotted overs. Vinayak Shukla scored a forceful 15-18 balls in Sri Lanka, chasing a total of 81. Won the match by scoring 82 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 4.1 overs, and Southern Virat Kohli scored 28 runs.
He done that. You bet he has.
Sri Lanka played their second match against Bangladesh and won the match by 18 runs. Sri Lanka batting first scored 107 runs for 3 wickets in their 6 overs. Captain Lahuru Madhushankar scored an unbeaten 48. Bangladesh team was able to score only 89 runs, losing 3 wickets in their allotted 6 overs.
Brilliant from Samarakun.
And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel I. I'm Vilanjali, together with Charita, signing off. Good night.
Good night.